Hello everyone, thanks for joining me. Today I've got a $100 EDC challenge. So this is what I did. I was inspired by John Gadget's video that he did with his friend Jamie called Budget EDC Challenge. The rules for their video were that they needed to get things on Amazon. They needed to have a wallet and a flashlight, a knife, and a key ring. And that was it. So I watched the video, I loved it, and I thought I should do the same thing, only focused more on my stuff because obviously I don't really carry a man's wallet typically, so I wanted to look at some other options. And I have to admit, this did become a opportunity for me to try some things I've looked at before and decided not to purchase because I was being more frugal. So this is kind of an excuse video. This is the wallet. All right, this is the Challah Wallet here, and I've wanted to buy something from this brand for a long time because they are so cute. They have so many adorable things, and I love the way the stitching's on the outside. All of the reviews said the quality was good, and it is. If you see, I can move this quote-unquote vegan leather out of the way. You can see the stitching on the back. Things really do have a really good quality to it. I like this hardware. It's this antiqued brass look. I think it looks really nice, and that actually became one of my problems. And I'll tell you about that as we talk about the challenge a little bit. I like that it has a key ring attached. My initial idea was to use this as both the wallet and the key ring because this can come off, and that would give me an option for both of those. Inside the wallet, there's plenty of room for cards, basically. Definitely no room for a phone. You can fold up money or use coins and put them back here. The back has a spot for the identification card that you might want to carry with you as well. It is a little bit thicker than you'd think with this kind of decorative spot coming out in front, but I think that helps to hold everything and is not actually completely wasted space. It's lovely. I really love it. I think it's really cute. It is really well made. It is really something that I was hoping for, and I'm really glad I did this challenge so I could try this out. Now, after this, I decided to look at keyring options because I wasn't really sure that this would be enough of a keyring. In retrospect, it would have been, yet I'm glad I made the decision not to stick with it. Because what I ended up getting here was this Night Eyes, what do they call it? The keyring locker. And there are 5 S clips that come with it. And these are really cute. They're all different colors, and they have a locking mechanism with them, so you can actually easily turn this plastic piece, and now nothing can come out. The carabiner cannot open once that's turned. So the other thing that I liked about this is that it extended this a little bit so that my keys and everything didn't have to hang quite so close to that key ring, and you'll see why that's important in a minute. Finally, I enjoyed the fact that I could take my keys and other things on the key ring here and put this right onto a belt loop. Not something I would typically do, but I sometimes am in places where that's appropriate, where I'm just, working and getting like more physical work done. And yeah, that's been actually a really nice way to keep my flashlight and everything with me because women's clothes do not have great pockets. Okay, so now this was about $9.60 for this, and the Challah wallet was about $31 there. Okay, so let's move on next to the flashlight. Now, I literally chose this flashlight because of the color. Okay, so that sounds ridiculous, right? But this color I thought would look good, and it does actually with this antiqued brass look in the Challah purse, and it really does look good together. This is an Olight flashlight. It is the IXV I1R 2 Pro EOS 180 lumen. Okay, that's a long name. It has little instructions on the back if you forget how to use it here, but it is super easy to use. It's off right now. I'm going to rotate it. It will turn on to low. I'm going to rotate it more, and it turns on to high. High is 180 lumens, and the beam is supposed to go, I believe, 48 meters, 48 yards, about the same thing. And then low is 5 lumens. You rotate it the other direction, counterclockwise, I guess, to turn it off. And if you keep rotating, it will pop open. And there is the USB-C port that you use to charge it. Very straightforward, very elegant design, I would say. You can see here also this O-ring is here, and that O-ring helps it to be really waterproof. It has an IPX rating of 8, so you can actually dunk this underwater and expect it to be fine. You can even leave it underwater apparently and expect it to be fine. Haven't done that yet. So this is very good for what it is, a flashlight that fits on your keychain. Now, using it this way, honestly, I don't know if you can see it in my hand there, it is just too small to really feel comfortable using. However, it's supposed to be on your keychain. It is not supposed to just be in your hand. And so the keychain, I would say, is like a functional part of this flashlight here. You know, you're holding other stuff in it, and that makes it feel good in your hand. So I really do recommend this flashlight for what it is. A keychain flashlight, easy to recharge and waterproof. If you're looking for something like that, I would definitely recommend this. Of course, I will put links to these things in the description. Okay, so next let's talk about, the knife. So I really was looking forward a lot to getting a knife, but I also realized if I wasn't going to be carrying my Victorinox Classic, because I have carried all of this stuff basically for 2 weeks, I was going to need some kind of nail care option. So I wanted to look at some of these teeny tiny skinny little nail files. So this comes in this pouch, and I did keep it in the pouch because, I mean, it looks good with this. This is actually black, while this is actually a dark brown, but the stitching is similar. The colors on the stitching, I don't know if you can really see the colors here. You can see it better on the back. They really look good together there. And so I was really kind of happy about the pouch that this comes in. But also just by itself, this is a very sleek and elegant nail clipper with an integrated nail file and nail cleaner. And the name of this is the Challah Keychain Nail Clipper and Nail File with Cleaner. Okay, the way this works is you're just going to grab this top piece here and pull it up. And then the whole thing pops open. It is like a spring-loaded kind of thing. There's the jaws. They actually can open extremely wide, and I found they work really well. The curve on these is not too bad there. Okay. The nail file kind of gets in the way when you're trying to use the nail clippers, and you can actually kind of stab your hand with the back of it there. I don't know if you can get the idea of that. And likewise, when you're trying to use the nail file and the nail cleaner, the nail clipper part kind of gets in your way. This joint is just so floppy. It almost would be better if this was the kind that rotated around. However, this is the mechanism that keeps it closed. So to close this, you push this down pretty hard and then force this over the top. And it really probably is going to stay closed. Some of the comments on Amazon said that this really did pop open in the pocket. And so I wanted to keep it in this little pouch anyway, although it does look a little bit funny on the keychain when I have it like this. Now, I carried this with me for most of the 2 weeks, but I just recently got rid of it because I just had too much on the keyring, and as much as I use this all the time, I just was unwilling to carry that much stuff with me, and so I had to survive without this. But I did get an opportunity to try a cool knife that I had seen, I think years ago, but I was never going to spend the money on it because, frankly, maybe I remembered before, but I forgot before I bought it this time. This is a really small knife. So it does work great for what it is, though. Really, I'm looking here, everything I got was an item that goes on a keychain. And that ended up being a great choice for me because women's pockets in general are so small, and that makes EDC for women really hard. But if everything fits on the keychain, and then if the keychain has a clip that lets you hook it onto your belt loop, really, I could be working and clip this on my belt loop, have all my stuff with me, no problem. I didn't keep the wallet with me that way, but I kept everything else with me that way. And these are things that I would be using when I'm doing stuff at one of my jobs. So it was actually really nice to have. Now let's talk about this absolutely adorable and honestly beautiful knife. This is the Kershaw Cinder in copper, and it comes in black as well. In copper, I paid just over $14 for it. It went on sale for just under $14 after I bought it. This looks like it's for something. I don't think it actually is. This is just where it goes on the keyring. This part over here is the ubiquitous bottle opener. You'd think that all we drank was soda and beer. Yeah, and it's always in a bottle based on how many bottle openers are around. There's a thumb stud on here, and this is just a regular opening. It's not assisted opening. I think if you have big hands, you might have a hard time opening this with one hand, but you can. I rest my finger here and my other finger's there, and then just push pretty hard here. And there's something about the angle of this that makes it a little bit hard for me to open. Now, once it's open, you can see it's got a nice place to rest your first finger here. Your other fingers can rest back here. And this lanyard part that attaches to the keychain does let me get all my fingers pretty well on here. There's a little extra space here before the blade actually starts, and the blade is quite small, which, I mean, I don't mind. This is not like a self-defense tool for me or anything like that. This is literally mostly for opening boxes or cutting tags off of things or cutting the little plastic things off or just cutting any other little small cutting jobs that would happen in my regular life. I do carry a dedicated knife for one of my jobs where I need to have that, and this isn't really filling that role. I don't want to carry that big thing around with me all the time. So this is just to have something with me that I can cut things with. And honestly, I think it is beautiful. Look at that. Just a beautiful item. Now, it has a nice liner lock in here, and I want to point out to you just the detail with this, how the liner lock actually copies the design that's on here right into here. I don't know if that would be as obvious in the black version as the copper version, but I think that looks really good. Likewise, there's actually enough room to get your thumb in here to do the liner lock. If I can show it this way, I guess. Okay. And I feel very in control when I'm closing this knife, no problem. It is a little bit hard to open sometimes. Like I said, I'll get it halfway and then my thumb just kind of doesn't want to make that angle. I don't know if that's my problem or a problem with the design. But again, I just think it looks so beautiful. I'm very happy to have this with me, and I really look forward to seeing what kind of patina this is going to get over time. Yeah, I think the attention to detail on this is really good. Now, what it doesn't have, though, is a good blade steel, apparently. And I'm definitely no expert at this, but this is what I found when I was researching it. This is a 3CR13 blade steel, which is not supposed to be very good for keeping a blade, but theoretically, shouldn't that mean that it's easier to sharpen? I don't know. I haven't needed to sharpen it yet. This was the last thing to arrive from Amazon, and so I haven't had enough of a chance to carry this. Likewise, because this is brand new and has no patina to it, I would say it doesn't do what I wanted, which was to look good with this, all these metal finishes we've got here, right? So I've got this antiqued brass finish on the hardware from the Challah Wallet. I've got this kind of bronzy looking finish here, along with these metallic finishes here, this dark brown finish. These things all look pretty good together, but then this, when you throw it in the mix, it doesn't quite look right. It has a look of quality to it, which I think these other items do as well, and I appreciate that, but it may not really have the same color, color together. It doesn't look that great together as it might, but I hope it does in the future. Now, in terms of using this on the keychain, it works fine on the keychain, no problem. It might actually be a tiny bit easier to open when you've got something else in there, and there's no problem keeping the keys out of the way while you're using this. It does have a really good feel of control, and yeah, so really, so far I highly recommend this knife, although like I said, I haven't had it long enough to use it for long. So I'll show you kind of what it's been looking like when I carry this on my belt loop here. Just hooks on like that. I can go around, do stuff. I've got everything with me, and it's easy to take off if I want to get to something or take an individual item off as well. There's that. What I have been doing, though, I bought one more thing that I had money for, even after my false purchase or my bad purchase of the nail clipper that I'm not actually carrying. I bought this tote bag. This tote bag is fantastic for a few reasons. I like that it is this color. I think this is a good color. I think it goes well with this, and it looks nice. I got a green Night Eyes S carabiner with the key holder purchase, and I'm using that to clip the wallet right on the outside. I think that looks kind of stylish. It has multiple pockets. There's a pocket up here, there's a pocket over here, and this tiny pocket here. What I have been doing is hooking the key ring portion of the wallet onto the key locker there, and I slip everything right down in here. And honestly, I think that looks pretty cute. It is extremely convenient as well. I can just grab my things out of here. I've got my car keys right there. I can always know and see where they are. I know where my knife is. I know where my flashlight is. This I've been carrying over my shoulder, but at times, you always may want to have a shoulder bag. And this is easily adjustable so that you can actually carry it across body. So you can kind of keep your attention and hands on other stuff and still carry this with you. It expands very well. One thing I do not care for is that it has this white zipper. Likewise, the little pocket that it has inside has no zipper and also is white. So if you carry it open, it feels a little funny. Now, this tote bag that I'm kind of using as a purse here, I love. And what I really like about it is that it's very flexible. It's part of the modularity of this whole thing I've got going here. It is able to be a shopping bag. I can take this, and I have taken this to the grocery store to get a few things, come in with the bag empty, put a few things in it, go to the grocery, check out, pay, and then put everything back in. That's the kind of thing you can't do with like a men's sling bag or a regular purse, of course, or really, even though it's kind of the same idea, you really can't do it with a backpack. So a backpack has the characteristics of being more flexible. You can put different things in it. It can get bigger to carry more if you're carrying a little bit more stuff, but you really can't, you know, put your groceries in a backpack at the grocery store. You'll look a little bit weird, and honestly, it kind of looks like you're stealing, whereas if you put it in what looks like a shopping tote, really no one's going to think anything of it. So I find this to be a really flexible option. I have carried lunch to work. I have carried spare clothes when I've needed them. I've carried a hat and a scarf because it's been getting a little bit chilly. I've carried all sorts of different things in the bag, and mostly I just keep it empty in case I have something I need to bring home or something that I pick up from the store. It has been a great way to minimize my plastic use and to still carry everything in a way that I feel like, I mean, it's probably not the most stylish look, but it definitely fits with my style. Anyhow, so this is what we got today. Now, the total on everything was just, including the nail clipper, was actually $100.10. However, one of the items, and I don't know which one, had $2 off instantly in the checkout, so it was actually $98.10 afterwards. The Kershaw knife was just over $14. The Night Eyes key locker was just about $10. The Challah purse was $31, and the tote bag was about $13. The flashlight was about $22. Thank you very much for joining me today. I hope this video was interesting to you. I hope you found something that you might consider purchasing or even just consider watching some more videos on in the future. Thank you.